Hello, everyone. Hello, Shakti. And here we are. I'm Natalia, and we are doing a review of another company. You know what are we going to talk about?
What is that?
It's all in one. We're going to talk about Santa Claus, polar bear, Star Wars, and everything is in a bottle of Coke. I did tell you before. I did tell you before that I'm gonna buy Coke. I bought Diet Coke. It's not original, not classic, and not in the bottle that you usually get it. The glass sexy bottle, but that's all I could do. I'm gonna do it tasting later. I don't like Coca-Cola as a beverage, but the company is fascinating.
It is.
Do you
It's been around for several decades, probably a century or more.
I'll tell you exactly where the beverage was created. 1887. It's not decades. It's more than a century. Imagine that.
Yep.
So now tell me, do you like Coke?
Yeah, I do. Sometimes I have.
Not as a beverage, as a company. And do you see
Oh, as a
value
company.
in stocks?
So the thing is, all I know is, Warren Buffett loves Coke, and he has held that 400 million shares for several decades. I was checking the overall share count of Coke. It's around 4 billion,
Yeah.
right? So almost 10% of the entire company is owned by Buffett. So he loves it. One of the reasons is it has been around, as you say, since 1887. Every day, billions of people consume Coke, even today, right? And that's a reason why I have personally invested a little bit of money into Coke because I'm basically a dividend investor who's also open to growth. So the reason why I became a dividend investor in the first place when I initially started was my dream to retire from this rat race that I am in for the last couple of decades. So the whole idea was, what can I do to build wealth down the line? Okay, it's going to be a slow process. It's not going to be quick.
Yeah.
What can I do to build wealth and accumulate enough dividends so that I can retire off dividends? So that was the initial goal. And Coke is one of those companies which top the list of dividend investors, and they have a decent yield, but their dividend growth has been slowing down recently, which is something we don't like. But still, there has been consistent growth, and they are not cutting the dividends, which is good for us, right? And that's one reason why I own Coke, and I hope they continue giving those juicy dividends for several decades to come.
Okay. So just retire, sip some. Whew.
Exactly. That's the whole point. That's the dream.
That's a dream. Live your dream, sip some Coke, and get dividends, which they never cut. It smells like Coke.
Hopefully they will.
So should I try? Should I try? I'll leave it for
Yes.
a bit. I'll leave it for a bit. Maybe you know what? Cheers for your dividends. Yeah.
Cheers.
Mm,
How is it?
I told you it's not my type of drink, but
It's hot Coke. I don't know how it tastes. I never tried that Coke.
I'll get it for you. Please like, share, and subscribe. We will really appreciate that. And now let's search for Coke stocks. So, Coca-Cola. Hello. Here we go. Right now we see it's $70 per share. Well, what was happening in the last year is pretty much flat. It's not
Yeah,
changing.
it's pretty much flat. And if you look at the 10-year chart, there was a uh, drop during COVID. That was a significant drop. Holds well
Yeah.
compared to other stocks. In that situation, even Coke had almost a 30% drop, which was a gift from the market for dividend investors, especially. But anyway, it has recovered since. It doesn't grow as much as it used to in the past, but it is pretty stable because the growth has saturated. And if you look at the 10-year chart, so what is the overall returns that you see? Yearly CAGR is
Yearly that's gonna be 8%. So if let's say I compare with the market got actually better return. So
yeah.
and it's not just little bit better, it's quite significantly better, I guess.
Yeah.
But if we look at 20 years, So
It's closer,
it's
right?
much closer. If we look at 30 years,
And
market
there
is
is
better. Yeah. And Max,
Max, Max is a bit because the market value that we have is starting from 1993, so it's not the exact comparison.
yeah,
For that, we need more data for the S&P 500. Whatever we are using is starting from 1993. But the thing is, it was I looked at the numbers for since 1988,
yeah,
89,
yeah,
Buffett bought.
yeah,
What I noticed was the figure was 10.5 for Coke, including dividends, and the CAGR was 10.76 for the S&P 500, including dividends. So it's a very close match, and Buffett has actually done well,
yeah.
irrespective. But if you have, let's say, the last 20 years, or you know, that's when the stock has been close to them. If you go back to the
Yep.
20-year
I'll
mark,
feel I'll
because
filter it in a second. I just notice how cool it is to see here dot-com bubble, GFC, COVID, rates hike and tariffs. So all biggest events we went with Coke and with the market. Amazing. So Buffett, you just said that Buffett bought Coke which year?
1989. But again, you cannot compare with the market now because it's totally off as we don't have data before 1993. It's mathematically incorrect.
Yeah,
So we can only do up to 30 years if you want to compare with the market. 93.
93. Let's go with December, 2nd of December. Okay.
Yeah, this is a comparison, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so you would see that investing in market, you would end up with a higher return.
Better result. But that all that happened recently after the COVID crash. Before COVID, it's pretty much fair game. Both are same, right?
Yeah, yeah, so
It's after COVID with the AI boom and whatnot, right? So that has caused the market to move much further away.
yeah, I can see prior to COVID, prior to 2020, it's pretty much the same. It's very similar.
Yeah,
Interesting.
and Coke will continue to go on the same path, which will be stable and slow, but market will be up and down because with the AI boom now, the market is richly valued.
Yeah,
So we never know; it might come back to the same valuation as Coke in the future.
yeah, that's right. So we can look at valuation, all right?
Yeah, which is very high. Actually, I did check this earlier, and I noticed that Coke has to grow at what 25% to
Yeah,
maintain an 8%. I don't think Coke is growing at 25% anytime soon. So if you change it to 5%, it is extremely overvalued. So let's say we make it 5% or so. I mean,
5% or
I,
as
yeah,
it is
in terms of
actually. So I put
yeah,
6%. So
now 30. Now this was the value during COVID crash. So that is when the stock
yeah,
was fairly valued. Right? And now it's more than double. The reason why it's going up and richly valued is because of the dividends, right? And also the quality, the moat around Coke. Whatever marketing that they have done uh, in the last century, it's in people's mind always, top of their mind, and that is the additional premium that we have to pay for Coke.
yeah. All right. What about financial performance?
Yeah, pretty flat, right? The last 10 years, you see the same
Yeah,
revenue.
yeah,
Nothing changed, so it's slow. And so if you can't say what happened in the last 5 years. It seems like it's growing up, but if you go back 10 years, it's flat,
yeah,
right?
yeah. And net income, uh, per,
I, nothing great.
it's growing a little bit.
One thing I love is the dividends. Click on dividends. Let's see how that is changing. You see, they have a nice chart which keeps going
Yeah,
up. This is the whole point, right?
yeah. Do they do any buybacks?
Yeah, I think they do a little bit of buybacks. It's very random. They don't have enough cash to do both
Yeah,
dividends and buybacks because I think the payout ratio is pretty high.
yeah,
In the prior screen, I think we might capture that in the screen before. We have a ratios calculated at the bottom. Yeah, here do you see? Yeah, we have dividends paid.
yeah.
Yeah, the
We
dividend
have a
payout,
dividends payout ratio.
which is more than that threshold of 70-75%, which is kind of at the peak.
Yeah,
Um, it's it's better to have this number lower, maybe around 50% or 60%. So there's a lot of pressure for Coke to continue to increase their dividends. They have to improve their operational efficiency, work on more sales and all that to get the cash flow increasing. And only if they have higher free cash flow, they can manage to continue to increase their dividends, which is the challenge that they always face. And they are stressed now, which almost 75+% is their payout ratio.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I still grateful to the company for the great invention. More not about the drink itself, but Santa, polar bear, and beautiful songs, advertisements, their marketing, bottles, and all they've done for. I think American culture is so much related to Coca-Cola.
Go to the dividends page. I mean,
Yep,
we are talking about Coke. That's the main page. Everything else doesn't matter. Go to the dividends. Yep.
yep.
And now the dividend yield as of today is around 2 point what?
It's around
It's at the top. Yeah.
two.
At the
Yeah,
top.
it's
Yeah.
around 2.9, 2.89.
And 5-year growth is
4.
4%. 10-year growth. They're trying to maintain that 4%, but we would like to see more.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, let's have a look at super investors and who own the stocks, right? Okay, Warren Buffett, 10%, and that's gonna be 26 billion.
Yeah. So that is 10% of their US equity holdings.
Yeah,
So we only capture US equity holdings. They are the biggest, yes, among all the others.
yeah. Everyone else, like there are quite a few investors which do have Coke, but
It's very small percentage. I don't think they see a lot of upside.
yeah,
But it's technically a stable stock, and because when you look at the same dividends page, there's an interesting fact in that page which tells you why people still want to invest in Coke. As you see, there's adjusted stock price change percentage.
yeah,
If you scroll down for every year, you see there were periods when it went down, but again, all of it recovers pretty fast. And in most cases, what we see is the drawdown is not too high compared to the market in times of crisis.
yeah,
So even during 2008, if you see this is from 1986, right? So if you go up, you see the 1999 dot-com bubble, all of that, the percentage drop is still reasonable compared to market. 2008 it was just 24% compared to the 38% for the market.
yeah.
So it's kind of a stable stock. Coke is a consumer staple. So consumer staple stocks are usually supposed to be stable. That's why it's called consumer staples or stable.
Talking about Coke, I would bring sustainability and ESG. Here we have our AI-powered ESG insights. So while it is loading, what do you think regarding sustainability and Coke?
So see, everybody knows that Coke consumes water.
Yeah,
So there was always this issue where locals found Coke to be encroaching in their land and sucking
yeah,
all the water out for Coke, and that has always been an issue. I don't know what they're doing to address those issues because it's a natural resource, right? When fresh water is limited, Coke always has this challenge of managing that part. Everything else is secondary,
yeah.
but I think it's the water part which Coke has to figure out.
Yeah, yeah. Well, so as you see here in our ESG insights, that they have successfully achieved their goal of being water neutral, so replenishing 100% of water used in finished beverages, and that's basically a critical metrics for their social license to operate. By the way, did you know that Coke in McDonald's tastes better than actual Coke?
No, because I hardly go to McDonald's, but I own their stock. Again, we can discuss McDonald's stock because of the dividends.
All right, next time We discuss McDonald's stock, maybe in McDonald's, right?
We'll do the taste testing and prove this theory
Yeah.
live on YouTube.
Yeah. We have to. We'll share the outcomes. So also the opportunity, their world without waste. It's like WWW initiative aims to collect and recycle a bottle or can for every one they sell by 2030. Progress is being made, but scrutiny remains high. Anyway, I think Coke is responsible for a lot of plastic contamination in the world.
That's why they started with the bottles, right? Now people wanted to move to the plastic. That's not their problem, right? Even I like to drink Coke out of the actual glass bottle.
Yeah, that's
It tastes better, or at least that's what I feel.
Shakti. I love what we are doing. You know, we are learning
Yes.
best practices by legendary companies in the world.
Yes.
And we have that unique opportunity to implement that in our business and our personal life. When you just think
Yep.
how genius all these companies, it's incredible. Coke initially was distributed not by the Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola has invented the drink in 1887 or 86.
Mhm.
And then genius marketing uh, move that they had an agreement with bottlers around the country to bottle the beverages. The bottlers were basically producing Coca-Cola using Coca-Cola secret recipe. You probably know about it. So yeah,
We discussed that. Let's touch upon that quickly because
yeah,
I always thought why nobody has
yeah,
been able to replicate Coke,
yeah.
right? Now I recently, I mean, I heard about it, but recently read more about it that they have a 7x formula, which is locked away somewhere and nobody knows what that exact formula is, which is kind of a fairy tale because it's very hard to believe, but seems like it is true
Yeah.
because nobody is able to replicate it. And they also have special suppliers who only supply to Coke. So you cannot get access to their special ingredient, whatever they have. So it's interesting.
That is interesting. Stories and secrets about that secret recipe. I don't remember exact year, about 30 to 40 years. That secret recipe was never written down anywhere. Did you know that? It was just in the heads of that family who did created that.
Very expensive heads.
Coca-Cola company was bought by, I don't remember the name of the gentleman. Can I ask Dojo AI?
Yeah, you can ask Dojo any question you want. It's going to respond. This will only give you the investor brief of what happened in the recent report.
Yeah.
Yeah, since we opened this, based on the recent
Yeah.
report, shareholder
Yeah.
communication, they are focusing on not only the drink but also other you know side snacks, whatnot, and they are also using advanced analytics AI to do to understand the market better and improve their efficiency.
Yeah.
So they are more data driven now, and all of that is aimed towards making their whole process more operationally efficient, which will increase their profit margin and it will increase our dividends.
Shakti, how to ask
See,
that?
asking a question is so hard. That's why we have suggested questions for the user, predefined. Don't have to think too much about what to ask.
Uh, okay. List me all the all the CEOs. Ernest Woodruff. I think that
Hmm.
was the guy who bought the company. Yeah.
Hmm.
He bought the company in 1923, and that was the time when, firstly, they did write down the recipe. The recipe was not changing all the way up to 1986. Roberto
Okay.
Goizueta or whatever, these
Hmm.
guys. So he was the one who was trying to change Coca-Cola recipe. He was trying to improve Coca-Cola, but failed.
Okay.
Even taste-wise, it was better, but people didn't like it because their childhood and
I want the classic.
they wanted classic. And
I want the classic even more.
yeah, do you know why they
Okay.
tried to change the recipe?
Yeah, it's obvious, right? Because he might have thought in with changing times and too much competition around, if he improves the taste, he might be able to increase the market share. But I think he miscalculated the emotional factor
Yeah,
that people have. It's not about the taste; it's about everything else other than the taste.
yeah. I just want to show you the reason, one of the reasons why they wanted to change their recipe. Are you ready for this? You've never expect that from me. Pepsi.
Pepsi.
Yeah. So I will do this experiment. I don't think it's going to be a classic experiment because this is Pepsi Max, zero sugar, and Coke, zero sugar.
Yeah.
So you see these two drinks. I'm pretty sure that it's
This
not
is a
going to
new
be the
test.
same.
Nobody has done this before. For the first time on live camera.
Yeah, absolutely. So Pepsi,
What do you
that's all
think?
right. I swear Pepsi is better.
You swear? Okay.
I swear I don't I
That's
really,
why. That's what
really
I.
Pepsi is better.
I bought Pepsi stock also. They also pay a good dividend, and they grow
So
their
they
dividend
they
faster.
make better drinks.
I like Pepsi as a stock more,
Yeah.
and because they grow their dividends faster than Coke, and their stock is also performing a bit better, I guess. But then taste-wise, yes, I think you've proven it.
That's crazy. I didn't know. I read about this story, but all right. Okay, very interesting. I haven't expected that. Just
I will
so
try it.
so obvious.
I will buy the classic Coke and classic. I don't know if there's a classic Pepsi, but I'll try to buy that and taste both and let you know.
Try that. Well, Coke was facing competition with Pepsi for quite a while. Coke was positioning itself pure play beverage. That's more for Coke. For Pepsi, it was diversified hybrid. Lower margin, Pepsi is usually cheaper overall than Coke. Taste is better. It's more like discounted sort of thing. Pepsi, I don't really know why still Coke is more expensive if it tastes not as good as Pepsi? Tell me.
I went to the cinema theater recently, and they did
Mm,
not have Coke, and they only had Pepsi.
mm.
For whatever reason, I did not take Pepsi, and I took Seven Up. Does that give you the answer? It's in the mind. I think Coke has put something in our minds to choose Coke, and if there is no Coke, I'm not drinking Pepsi. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
And Seven Up was good actually. Seven Up tasted really well. So,
Would go back to ESG
mhm.
and we can rate
Let's
Coke.
rate them.
So no poverty.
Well,
What can I say?
well, they've helped families get good jobs for decades. So lifted them out of poverty. I can put it that way.
That's absolutely truth. Quality education. I don't really know if they've done
No,
anything. Affordable green energy. I'm not quite sure
not
either.
sure.
How much they've done, reduced inequality. Well, I would say if I rate Pepsi on reduced inequality, I would give them like 8 or 9. But Coke, let's go for 6. Climate action, not quite sure. What else do you think?
Gender equality, decent work, yeah. Sustainable cities, no, I don't know about that. So
Good
clean water,
health and
well, I see a lot of people just drinking Coke instead of water. So it has become what a alternate for water.
anyway, I just think it's a great company and
Something that came to my mind. Coke chose to
yeah.
make the drink black instead of white.
Okay.
When I was thinking about reduced inequality, for whatever reason, it came to my mind.
Okay. Reduce inequality. Let's rate them a little bit higher. Let's rate them 7 just for the color. We submit. How did we rate Coca-Cola?
Yeah, decent.
It's environment 50. Let's say 59. Social 66 and governance 58. 8. Well, not bad, not bad.
I was thinking is if I own only one stock,
Yeah.
would I own Coke? Was the question I was asking myself. Because somehow I believe Coke will be around for another 50 years and they'll continue to keep growing the dividend for another 50 years. I know there are challenges. People are not drinking Coke as much as they do, but there is something that tells me, at least in my lifetime, this company is going nowhere and it's going to keep growing slowly and steadily. Yeah. Even during market crash, everybody will still drink Coke to avoid the depression.
Yeah. Coca-Cola is a sleep well at night stocks.
Yes.
So
One of those.
for you, Shakti,
I need that.
I would say
Now, Google
yes.
is not a sleep well. I have been through that, but I
Yeah,
can say,
yeah, yeah. The only probably like the biggest risk that the valuation is quite high.
I don't care about
But
the stock price. I only care about the dividends, and it's decent. It's like close to 3%, and it's growing every year. What else can you ask for? That's the best life.
oh, by the way, maybe we could rate them higher on responsible consumption and production. Do you know why? Recycle me.
Oh,
Big letters. If I compare it with Pepsi,
they're not recycling me.
no, no, no. But what they have, max taste. So if you are going for taste, please Pepsi. If you
Yeah.
are going for
Recycle me. Go to
Santa Claus, yeah, absolutely. And recycle polar bear. Polar bear. Yeah. But taste wise, no. This is better.
awesome.
Yeah. There was an experiment which firstly Coke conducted comparing Pepsi and Coke, and they found that Pepsi tastes better. It was like quite a while ago, and they have hidden the results of the
Mm.
experiment for many years.
Well, I know why.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have proven it after several decades now.
But then Pepsi found
Mm.
the thing. Well, I'd like to go to Stocks Dojo
Mm.
Academy. We did talk about dividend stocks
Yeah.
and we did talk about Pepsi and Coke. We may talk about Pepsi later on, but right
Yes.
now would be great to have a look at some of the quizzes. Let's go. Dividend growth quiz. Let's start to the quiz straight away. If dividends grow yearly, this called.
It's in the question.
This is so fun.
This is the
No,
best
this is
question
too
and
good.
answer.
Oh, this is too good. Okay, I will mark that as complete. Okay, let's go for another one. Dividend sustainability quiz.
Okay. Let's see.
Well,
Okay.
let's go here. Okay, which factor best indicate a sustainable dividends?
That's a tricky question.
High current yield, high payout ratio, strong free cash flow coverage, borrowing to pay dividends. Borrowing to pay dividends? No, no,
There are
no,
companies
it's,
that
it's
will
not
do
the
that.
case. No, no. High payout ratio.
It is
High
no.
car.
That's
No,
what we discussed earlier. They have 75 plus percentage. That is not
70. Yeah, yeah. So that's not gonna.
high current yield. See, in yeah, as you see, it's around 3%. There are companies which have a very high current yield, but yield
Yeah,
alone doesn't determine how determine the quality of the dividend being paid out. So the
yeah.
quality is mostly determined by strong free cash flow. For example,
Answer
Altria,
to
which
all
is
the
a
questions.
yeah, Altria is a smoking company. Like
Yeah, yeah,
they
yeah,
they pay a very high dividend. It was up to 10% at one point,
yeah.
but again, they found a way to keep growing their payout by around 4% or so because they keep increasing the price of the cigarettes. So they're able to manage it, right? But there are companies which can't manage such a high payout ratio and keep growing their dividends, right? So at
Uh-huh.
one point, the dividends will collapse. It happened for Intel. We know
Yeah,
they just cut their dividends. So high dividend
yeah.
mean you have to go and buy the stock. We'll have a separate video on explaining not to fall in the dividend trap and make sure you buy quality companies even if you want dividends. Yeah,
Okay. Well, dividends quality versus yield.
yeah,
This
that's
is
exactly what
another
I was
one.
talking about, right?
Yeah. Which is better long term? High yield, low growth, low yield, high dividend growth, dividend with negative cash flow. That's absolutely great and unpredictable. When you see the word unpredictable, it just straight away, ba-da-bum-ba. So, high yield, low growth, low yield, high dividend growth. We
What?
go high yield, low growth, or low yield, high growth?
High growth, high dividend growth is good. For example, Microsoft, right? As of today, Microsoft yield is pretty low, but they have a
Yeah,
high growth dividend, meaning they grow their dividends at 8%, 10% every year. Same with
yeah,
Visa. Visa has a
yeah,
very low dividend growth, sorry, dividend yield, but they keep
yeah,
growing their. So
yeah,
many people are discouraged from buying stocks which have a low dividend yield. I'm talking about dividend investors. But my point is, even though the yield is low today, 10 years down the line, because they've been increasing that dividend at 10% or more, you will find a huge difference. And maybe a 1% dividend yield growing at 15% every year for the next 10 years might eventually beat even a Coca-Cola, which is giving a 3% and growing at 3%, right? So it's all
yeah.
possible. I don't know the exact numbers, but you could end up with a better result doing that. So again, it will be part of our dividend discussion, quality dividends.
So basically, when we have that long term word, then it means high growth is better.
Better.
If it would be short term, then we might rather
We might
look
have
at
to do
high
that.
yield
If
right
you're
now.
already retired and you need the cash today, then it's a different story, right?
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Cool.
Thank you, Shakti. That was fun. Maybe just one more quiz, just one more.
We're going into the more complex
Select.
areas now at the bottom.
What about? What about
Assuming the quizzes below are much more complex. So what about tax cut
tax awa-
interpretation? Tax
tax
cut.
aw-
No, dividend cut. Forget about the tax.
dividend?
I don't want to talk about the
Okay.
dividend.
Dividend cuts interpretation.
Yeah.
Let's go. Okay. A dividend cut should prompt long-term investors to immediately sell, regardless of the reason. Ignore it entirely. Investigate the underlying business and balance sheet. Only look at new yield. It's easy question. Of
What is the answer?
course, immediately sell.
That's, that's, that's what I
That-
would do.
because that's your
Immediately sell. I mean, the answer should be immediately sell and run. So,
immediately sell and
yeah,
run and
but
put the company in the blacklist.
yeah, but I think to
Investigate.
be politically correct, it's like we investigate the company,
And then immediately sell.
then we immediately sell.
That was fun. Thank you, Shakti.
Thank you.
That was incredibly fun. I would remind one more time, please like, share, and subscribe. There are much more stories.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna discuss Pepsi. We're gonna talk maybe about competition, Pepsi versus Coke, and who was winning Maybe it would be fun to look at some comparison of Pepsi dividends versus Coke dividends.
Yeah.
Or maybe if you want to invest in something else. So for now, what can I say?
So if you like, share, and subscribe, you'll go to heaven.
Absolutely. For now, Christmas time.
Oh,
See, it's all new
I think
style.
Coke has to pay you for the marketing now.
Yeah, I think they have enough money.
Yeah, they do.
They pay you dividends.
They pay me peanuts, but but they have a lot of money.
Well, thank you, Shakti. And talk to you soon.